ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be taking a look at Micheal Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis. We are playing it on a Model 1 Sega Genesis and on a Sega 32X, which is attached to the Model 1 Sega Genesis. And we're using a 6-button Sega Genesis controller. Now, as soon as you look at the case, if you're familiar with old school box art, if you overlook the Sega Genesis logo, it resembles something that's on Atari 2600. You got the rainbow here, you got like a spacey looking background. You do have Micheal Jackson right here. As you can see here, somewhere at the bottom, there's actually a signature. I don't think you can see it, but right down here on the bottom, there's a signature, which means that this is actually artwork that someone actually created by hand. On the back, it gives you a description, Micheal Jackson's Moonwalker, and some screenshots. And of course, the cartridge has the same exact artwork that is featured on the box art. Now, what's interesting, before I get into the review, not about the game to say the least, but about Micheal Jackson, is that he actually liked video games. Now, rumor has it, actually it's not rumor, it's a fact, he actually had creative control over his own games. So he didn't create the game, but he told the developers how to create the game. So in a sense, he did create the game, but of course he wasn't the developer, but he told the developers, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, take this out, whatnot. And I remember hearing about him somewhere on a video on YouTube that he actually told the developers that he wants larger enemies in the levels, so they actually took out the enemies that they had in the levels. I don't know what level it was, but they actually edited the game and put larger enemies in because that's what he wanted. No, I have a few pictures here of Micheal Jackson's arcade I want to show up on the screen. Now, Micheal Jackson's arcade actually had a whole lot of games. He actually collected these games. He had several, or more than several, he probably had close to 100 arcade cabinets, which is crazy. And he also had quite a few demo stations. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but a long time ago, they used to demonstrate the PlayStation, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, in a cabinet with a built-in TV at stores, shopping outlets. And I'm going to run down a list of what Micheal Jackson had. He had a Neo Geo console, he had a Sega Genesis demo station, he had a Sega Dreamcast demo station, he had a Nintendo 64 demo station, a Virtual Boy demo station, a PlayStation demo station, a Sega Saturn demo station, a Super Nintendo demo station, and a 3DO demo station. And there's also a huge list of arcade cabinets that he had, but I'm not going to go through that. But he does have, or he did have, a lot of arcade cabinets. It was probably more than what you have ever seen in your life. Now, if you look this game up on eBay, this game goes for quite a bit of money because, unfortunately, Micheal Jackson passed away a couple of years ago, and the price of this game skyrocketed because of the value. Now, as you can see here, it does feature a couple of Micheal Jackson's hit singles, such as Bad, Smooth Criminal, amongst other songs you can see here. Let's check out the game. And this game is also 2 players. Now, right away, right before you get into the game, that resembled, my guess is Back to the Future. Maybe Micheal Jackson liked the Back to the Future movie, I'm not sure, but that looked like a DeLorean flying up in the air. Now, right here, you have a club, and you'll see the resemblance to Castlevania soon. A slight resemblance, not a whole lot of resemblance, because the platformer itself does look like a Castlevania, just the way it works out, but it has its own style. And as you can see, the object of the game is you have to rescue the children. You have a cat there that's trying to kill you. Now, the gameplay is really unique. You have to remember, this game was technically tested out by Micheal Jackson before it was released, so this game was actually what he wanted. And they actually put his monkey in the game, as you can see right there. The monkey actually points in the direction that you're supposed to go, so he wants you to go down over towards the left side right here. And once you walk into the correct environment, now you have to fight. And as you can see here, if you hold down the magical power button, you can actually make your enemies dance, and it kills them off. And then you advance to the next level. Now that's ridiculous. Now each level, or each world, I call it like a world, I guess, but the whole design atmosphere of the level, you have to go through 3 levels before you actually see like a different scenery, different world environment. I believe the next one you're on the streets, and then the next one you're actually in like a graveyard. Now the going up and down the stairs thing, it does resemble Castlevania, like the gameplay at least. As you can see, you can do a moonwalk, which is pretty cool. So the game actually features Micheal Jackson's dance moves, and somehow they turned that into like a, I don't know if you want to call it a hack and slash or a beat 'em up game. I don't know what to call it, but you have to fight off your enemies while dancing at the same time, which is very, very unique to say the least, because I never played a game like this before. And the sound effects actually feature Micheal Jackson's real voice. As you can hear in the background, you can actually hear Smooth Criminal playing. So they actually have the real music playing right through the Sega Genesis on the Sega Genesis sound chip. And now here's another boss fight. Excuse me. As you can see, at times it's not easy to play. I mean, if you play it over and over and you're used to it, then it is easy, but it does get tough at times. As you can see, the monkey actually points out where you're supposed to go. You have 4 enemies on the screen you're supposed to defeat. And use your magical powers so you can make them dance. Okay, let's take a look at the, let's skip a few levels here and see what some of the other stages look like. Okay, no, so I'm going to show you the stage number 2, or round number 2, the level number 1 for round number 2. It's on the streets. As you can see here, it kind of resembles like a double dragon type of thing, I guess. You got dogs attacking you. You got bombs that come out of the windows. Your objective is still the same. You have to rescue the children. There's a little meter at the bottom of the screen that tells you how many children you have left. Like right now there's 3. I think that's pretty cool how you can kick the trash can. As you can see, some of his dance moves right there. You have to try to jump from the wall to the top of the building. As you see, it's not always easy to land on the platforms. And now we're about to face a boss. Let's see what we got here. Now this guy is the boss, so he I guess he finds a whole bunch of enemies that you have to fight. As you can see here, there's even more this time. You make your enemies do signature Micheal Jackson dance moves. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of them. Now, the more magical power you use, the more your health goes down, so that's not good. So in some cases, it can work against you. As you can see, I almost died, but in the end it doesn't matter because I won. And there's that ridiculous screen again. Now this kind of it reminds me of elevator action for some reason, because of course it has an elevator in the level. And then you have a guy right here that's walking around with a gun. And here you go, you have to get inside the elevator and go up to the next level. So as you can see, there's a lot of inspiration put into this game. Like, My guess is Micheal Jackson might have enjoyed other video games such as Elevator Action or Castlevania. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that's the reason why there's slight resemblance to those games in this game. So maybe that's how he wanted his game to be like, you know? So he combined it all together into one game. Oh, as mentioned before, he did have creative control for this game, so he actually told the developers what to do and what to change. He basically okayed whether he liked this or not. So for the most part, he was the boss of the project, and I guess he was actually the tester, I'm not sure. But he definitely played the game before anybody else did. Now another interesting thing is Micheal Jackson owned a lot of games. For some reason he did not own his own game. I don't know why. But he had like hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but he probably had over 100 arcade cabinets, a lot of demo stations, a whole bunch of video games, but he never actually owned his own game for some reason. I don't know if he did at one point, but around the time he died, the list of games that I found on the internet that supposedly was the games that he owned, this game was not actually on the list, which is surprising. So I figured that he'd probably own his own game, but for some reason he didn't. As you can see, you have to be careful on which trunk you open because there's bombs, as you can see here. I personally like this game. I think it's actually pretty good. It's very, very unique. I mean, it cost a lot. I got the game for around $20, but I know the game is worth, at the moment it's worth about $60. So if you do get the game cheap, you're lucky. As you can hear in the background, you can hear Micheal Jackson's song Beat It. And now we're about to face a boss, which is up in the top level. As you see, you can do the moonwalk right there, which is amazing. On this level you have to be careful because these guys don't dance. If they do dance, I don't think it really kills them off. So you really have to kill them off as fast as you can. And there you go again. That's one weird screen. And as you can see, you can go into subways. Well, not the subway, but the sewer, I mean. But that makes me think maybe Micheal Jackson liked the Ninja Turtles, who knows? Because, you know, sewers. The only other game that I knew of that had, like, you can actually go inside the sewer is the Ninja Turtle game. I could be wrong. If you guys know any other games, just comment below.
The only game I remember that allows you to go inside the sewer is Ninja Turtles. And this game. There might be another game, but I'm not sure for sure. I don't know. Okay, so let's skip it over to the next stage. Okay, before we go to the next stage, I just want to show you the boss fight right here. First, it's probably the third level for Street. Well, look at this, you can actually make the dogs dance. That is awesome. As you can see, this is very, very difficult. I had a hard time beating this, so I had to play it a couple of times. As you can see, I suck at this. That's pretty funny. I don't think grabbing my balls is gonna help too much, but hey. And here we go with another attempt to have a... And once again we have dancing dogs. This is pretty cool. Now this is really hard, this boss fight, so you have to really... First I see you have to kill that white dog. And I just made it look easy right there, but then again, I don't know, I can't do that. I got lucky. If I tried that again, it'd be very difficult. And now we're going to rule number 3, or round 3. And here we go. You can see we're in the graveyard. Definitely has like a Splatterhouse, Alter Beast, Ghosts and Goblins type of look to it. Now, in my opinion, I think they should have used a Thriller song in this level, but for whatever reason they decided to use the song that they are using right now at the moment. Now these zombies are pretty hard because they'll actually jump at you. As you can see there, they're not easy to hit at times because they will jump. And now we're gonna have a boss fight. He goes, ha ha ha, you'll never catch me. Now let's see if we can make these zombies dance. Oh, here we go. Thriller. What do you know? So they have a little short version of Thriller right there. It's better than nothing. Oh, and there's that screen again. Oh! That's probably the most ridiculous level screen. I don't know what to call it, but the screen that informs you that you are advancing to the next level. That screen, the most ridiculous screen I've ever seen. It's pretty cool how you can look inside the bushes, behind the tombstones. Now, when I first played through this, I really didn't know that you can actually look into the bushes. I had to play through it a couple of times, and then I realized that you can actually look into the bushes to see if the children are actually inside the bush. Because for me, it looked like the background. I didn't realize. Pretty clever. Now this game came out in, was it 1990? So the graphics are pretty good for 1990 standards. Of course the sound's amazing because it actually has the songs and the voice of Micheal Jackson, so. There's also rumors, believe it or not, that in most of the Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Sega Genesis, Micheal Jackson secretly helped compose a lot of the music. Now there's videos on the internet that help support that claim because a lot of the older Sonic the Hedgehog games on Genesis, if you alter Micheal Jackson's music, they almost sound identical to each other. If you're interested in hearing that, there's somewhere on YouTube there's actually a video that shows the comparison. I mean, you can actually type it in, just type in Sonic the Hedgehog and Micheal Jackson, and you'll hear the similarity. And I believe that he probably did keep a relationship with Sega to the point of where he probably did help compose music for certain games. I'm not sure why it wasn't out in the open. Like, for whatever reason, Sega didn't tell anybody, or he didn't mention that he helped with the music, but it was like a secret, I guess. No, it's not known if that really happened or not, but it's very, very likely that it did. Now there is another level after this, or another world. There's a couple more worlds after this, but I really didn't get that far yet. I've actually played the other two worlds. And the last world I really don't like too much. The next world after this, it's like an Indiana Jones looking world, which is interesting. But the last world is, I really don't care for it too much. It's like you're in a laboratory type of place. Overall, I actually enjoy this game. It's actually pretty good.